I was probably about 8 years old, and my parents, we lived in a two-story house, and I decided that I wanted to jump off the roof of the second story, and I realized that if I jumped off, I was going to probably hurt myself. So I decided to make myself a parachute, and because that would help me on the fall and everything. So I grabbed a couple dozen plastic supermarket bags, started cutting them up and taped them together, and everything. And so my mom walks by, she sees what I'm doing, and she says, "What are you doing?" And I tell her, "Well, I'm preparing for the jump." And she, kind of talked her through it a little bit, and she very nicely convinced me that it wasn't a good idea. But in my mind, there was no problem. This was just going to happen. And you see what I'm saying? When we're little kids, we don't have that concept of things being impossible. We don't know where the line is between reality and fiction. We don't know where that is. And so, somewhere along the way, we lose Genesis 15, verse 1. It says, "After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision." In a vision. He saw his vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." But Abram said, "O sovereign Lord, what can you give me, since I remain childless?" In other words, okay, you promised me this great nation, and I believed you, but I don't even have one kid yet. How's this going to ever happen? Verse 3 says, "And Abraham said, 'You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir.'" So Abraham was telling him, so this ends with us. Okay, I understand that. I can't believe this. I mean, you made me this promise. So this is it? And assumption starts walking in his life. I just assume it's never going to happen. Verse 4 says, "Then the word of the Lord came to him." It says, "This man will not be your heir, but a son coming from your own body will be your heir." So kind of like God was telling him, okay, you thought I forgot my promise with you, didn't you? No. I'm doing something different in your life right now that you have no idea about. I'm going to keep my promises. That's what I do. I don't back down, okay? I'm going to keep this promise with you. And then he continues. He says, I love this part. He says, verse 5, he says, "He took him outside and said, 'Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them.' Then he said to him, 'So shall your offspring be.'" I love the fact that he takes him outside. I love that. 6, "Abraham believed the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness." You can let your life be controlled by your assumptions, or you can let your life be controlled by God. You got to choose. You can't do both. I think that there are people here in this room right now who have given up on their God-given dreams. I think there are people in this room who God has been very specific with, who's had this burning inside. It's like, man, I know this is God. I know I can smell it. I can feel it. That's all I think about. It's all I talk about. But you've given up on that dream. And my prayer for tonight is that that fire will ignite again in your heart today. Because you can hang on. You can hang on to your assumptions, or you can hang on to God. You can't do both things. You got to choose. Which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? Make that choice. Can't be both. Can't be both.